How are we going to beat that?
Yeah. Okay.
No, leave it on.
Yeah,
leave the blindfold on. That's fine.
What's going on?
We're going to end the episode. We're going to leave the room.
Hi, welcome to Going Along with Cycling Weekly, the cycling podcast about all things ultra, bike packing and adventure riding. I'm Steve Shrubsall. This is Ian So. Hello, Ian. And we're also joined today by Phil Dobson. But before you introduce yourself, Phil, I am going to chuck a few quickfire questions at you so we can get to know you a bit better. Firstly, what's the furthest you've ever ridden in one hit?
I think about 220 kilometers.
Right.
When I was in Rwanda in September.
Cool.
Yeah.
What's the longest you've gone with no sleep? From a cycler perspective, yeah. We're not going back to your days of clubbing.
Yeah. When I was at uni. To be honest, not that long. Probably, I think the latest I've gone, again, it was in Rwanda, was probably like 11 at night.
Right.
And then I got up at 5 the next day.
Okay,
so
no overnighters.
No, not yet.
Yeah, you've gone about, how long have you gone, Ian? You've gone a lot longer than most sane people, I believe.
Somewhere in the region of about 60 hours.
Explains a lot. Right, okay. What's your favourite piece on the spot here of cycling-related equipment?
Favourite piece? Maybe the water bottle.
There's a water bottle?
Yeah.
Good. That'll keep you hydrated.
Yeah, important one.
Yeah, if you could only cycle in one country for the rest of your life, which would it be?
England, of course.
Yeah. Spain.
Spain?
Yeah.
Whereabouts in Spain?
Maybe Palma's like Mallorca's my favourite place that I've been so far, but
Bit small though.
yeah,
Rest
I
of
get
your
bored
life?
of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the rest of my life.
No,
Maybe-
because, I mean, Spain encompasses a lot. So you've got the
Yeah.
Canary Islands as well.
Yeah,
It's actually a very good
That's
answer.
a very clever answer,
yeah,
which
Yeah.
I used to go to Lanzarote quite a lot when I was younger, and I kind of want to go back there for cycling, but
Yeah.
windy though. Maybe let's go back to mainland Spain, and yeah, I'll try the Basque Country because I've not been there yet.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tour of the Basque Country always looks like a really punchy race.
yep, very lumpy.
And the hotel or bivvy, if you're going on an all-nighter.
Hotel.
Yeah, same as me. We're too old for this bivvy bag nonsense here.
I think you're too old. Phil's quite. Yeah. They get fillers.
Sorry,
Oh, no.
I'll tarnish you with the same brush.
He's a mere youngster.
Yes. Ian, hotel or bivvy?
Depends.
No.
Racing, bivvy?
No, hotel or bivvy?
Bivvy.
Thank you very much. Ask me.
No, you don't need to.
Hotel.
You've already answered.
Right.
Yes.
The most important question. Favourite meal deal?
Normally you go to Sainsbury's and I get the pastrami, like deluxe one or like premium one.
Know it well.
Coconut water if I'm trying to be good. Yeah. It's
Good choice.
controversial.
It's got a decent, different flavour
Yeah.
to it.
Yeah.
It is.
It's quite refreshing.
I'm trying to get away from like Coke Zero and Dr. Pepper and stuff. So
That's terrible for you.
Yeah. And then some of it go McCoy's for the snack, or like a protein bar.
This guy, a legend.
Yeah, that's pretty solid, right?
Yeah, that is a solid meal deal choice.
Yeah.
But other than eating excellent meal deals and liking water bottles, what does your cycling history look like?
So grew up in a village in the Midlands, where cycling was just like the easiest way to sort of get around to see your friends. So that kind of picturesque thing of like you go around looking for your mates and then all the bikes are in like the front garden and that's where they are, and we'd all go around together and play like hide and seek basically, but on
Do you have
bike sort of thing.
Grift, what was your weapon of choice?
Diamond back, I can't remember the name of it, but yeah, a BMX. I remember my dad bringing it home in the boot and like being absolutely buzzing for
Diamond
it.
bags were amazing.
Yeah.
They were the BMX.
Yeah. And then I think after that, just like a sort of mountain bike that looked nice. Can't remember the brand of it, but yeah, so that was the sort of initial sort of things. And then I kind of stopped cycling when I got to secondary school and got more into
girls, beer.
Well, it happens, doesn't it? I think it's, well, if you can keep cycling through secondary school, and this is, if there are any secondary school kids listening to this, doubtful, but if you are, and you're still cycling through secondary school, absolute kudos, because cycling doesn't have the best rap amongst youngsters. It's not the cool thing to do, is it? But if you can, you know, ignore the naysayers who spend their weekends down the park with a bottle of White Lightning or whatever.
Is that still a thing?
Probably. I don't know.
I don't know either, because my middle daughter, she's 15. She's just done a British cycling level 1 coaching course. She's actually completed that.
Chapeau.
And she helps out with the local cyclocross
I forgot about
team.
I forgot about the Toe family, to be honest.
Well, the youngest is completely given up cycling.
Right.
Hates it.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Well,
but I agree with you. I think if kids can get through that secondary school, then they've got something for life. And it was interesting because my middle daughter, she's autistic, and she struggled a little bit with the anxiety, but she was able to say confidently to the rest of the coaching class that she was pretty handy at cycling, and she is, both physically and technically.
do you think that's helped with her confidence at all?
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. That she could sit there in a class of 10 other adults, and she's 15. She's the youngest one there, and say this confidently. I think that's a great thing. So confidence, absolutely building.
Do you think that's born from the fact that she's doing a physical exercise? That, you know, that confidence and that extra sort of, I don't know, you get an extra layer of shine to you, don't you, once you've done, a good session?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I think so. I think she feels stronger. She's confident with her bike handling skills. It is just part of her. She just doesn't really even think about it too much.
I must admit, I've been trying to get my daughters, they were into their bikes, when they were 8 to 11. And then secondary school came along, and no one was riding bikes anymore. And now my eldest, I've gotten her an e-bike, which she sort of rides about a bit. But yeah, I've not given up on them, but it's fair enough. It's something like Phil and myself. I just as soon as high school came along.
Yeah.
Let's not bother with that anymore.
Yeah. I mean, how did you first get into cycling? I mean, not just riding around with kids.
Yeah. So then when I got to about 17, 18, a few of my mates were sort of getting into road cycling and going out on the weekends and that sort of thing. So I semi-stole my dad's bike out of the shed and would join them on a weekend. And that's kind of how I ended up getting back into it, really. And I think, if you stop it during secondary school, it can be tricky to sort of pick back up. So I'm looking at because my friends were doing it as well. I probably wouldn't have done it on my own, sort of thing. So
absolutely, it's very much about the company you keep.
Yeah.
And it was actually a excuse to go around to pubs to start with. We used to do a thing called Tour de Pub. So
right.
We had load of village pubs, and that's kind of how we got into it, like the old Tour de France days where they used to sort of raid the shops and get the beers.
Were you drinking alcoholic beverages on Tour de Pub?
Some consumed along the way,
Would you finish Tour de Pub completely?
Got to about the 4th, 5th pub and you're like, okay, how am I getting home, sort of.
With my bike, who cares?
Were there any mishaps?
No, I don't think there, actually. No one falling down ditches or anything like that. Yeah.
This is quite surprising. I mean, I can imagine a gang of 5 or 6 youths.
Yeah.
Is that sort of thing?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there was a decent group of us, but it was all pretty civilized at that point.
That is pretty civilized.
Yeah. Whereabouts were you living at the time?
I was still at home, so this was it's a place called Borsal Common in between Coventry and Birmingham.
Okay, and the riding around there was okay?
Yeah, Warwickshire lanes. Really quiet. We'd sort of do back then. It was like 30k on a sort of Saturday morning, and then eventually going to like Stratford and maybe down to the Cotswolds and back and that sort of thing. So start going further.
Yeah,
nice.
How did you get started with the road bike? Was it you say you semi-stole it?
Yeah.
Was your dad actually aware of this? Because I've met your dad.
Yeah. So my dad went through different sort of stages of cycling. Like he got into it when I was a bit younger, and I remember him sort of clopping around on in his shoes and seeing him going out. And then I think he gave up for a bit, and then he picked it back up again. But yeah, I mean, I think I'd basically said to him, look, my bike that I've got isn't suitable for going around the country lanes. Can I sort of borrow yours? And he was like, yeah, fine. As long as you bring it back in one piece, sort of thing. So, and I eventually did leave it outside of a train station. It got nicked. So he hasn't let me. He mentioned it the other week at the hub opening. So,
can you remember which bike it was?
It was Specialized Alley.
Oh,
yeah. So not
back in the day, yeah, they were
out.
decent.
That was my first bike too.
There you go.
Specialized Alley, bottom of the range.
So, I mean, you've obviously progressed on from, those days of riding around 30k and doing the Tour de Pub on the lanes of the East Midlands. You mentioned in the quickfire questions earlier that you've ridden the Tour of Rwanda.
Sort of. So it's the ride.
Race Around Rwanda.
Race Around Rwanda.
Race Around Rwanda.
I did the route, but I wasn't actually there for the sort of race, which I think is in May. So I went out in September.
And can you give us a few stats about that?
It was roughly 1,000 kilometers, 17,500 meter climbing, mix of sort of, I think it's about 60-40 sort of gravel and road, all sorts of terrain. I mean, it's called the Land of 1,000 Hills, so you're pretty much either going up or down the whole time. But yeah, beautiful. You've got near Kigali, the capital, you've got a national park, which you go into pretty much straight away. And then you're off to the north, which is sort of volcano territory. So you sort of see all the big, massive 4,000 meter volcanoes in the background. And then come all the way around past Lake Kivu, I think it's called. And then down into the south, which is like sort of tea plantation, like gorilla sort of area. So yeah, a total different mix of sort of scenery, and it was pretty challenging from the Land of 1,000 Hills.
Yeah,
which I'm not built for.
I've heard from a number of people who've done Race Around Rwanda that it's pretty tough.
Yeah,
that the surface is pretty tough, and the weather can be quite tough.
Yeah.
Did you see any gorillas though?
No, unfortunately not.
Any volcanoes erupting?
Not erupting. No, the day I was near the volcanoes, it was pretty overcast, unfortunately, so I couldn't see the whole thing, but you could see the clouds sort of going across the top of it. But no, I think you need to go right in. I think they're on the border with Uganda, so you need to go further in. But I definitely want to go back and sort of do that.
I mean, it sounds like a beautiful place.
Yeah.
From all accounts that I've heard. What made you go to try the routes? It's a pretty big ride.
And to do so on your own as well, that's one hell of an endeavour.
Yeah, so I'd been wanting to do like a sort of big challenge, like fundraising ride for a while. And I'd been looking at maybe like following the Tour de France route for a week or two, or Spain. Like I mentioned, I like cycling in Spain, but I kind of felt like there wasn't like a decent enough reason to do it. It was just like a bit of a jolly. And then found out that the World Championships was going to be in Rwanda, which is the first time ever it was in Africa. Big sort of pivotal moment for African cycling.
And there were actually issues going into, because I think there's on the border, haven't there been issues on the Rwandan and Ugandan border?
With the Congo, probably, DRC. So yeah, there was sort of worry about safety of riders and participants.
And this didn't put you off?
No, I mean, I got a message from my dad about 2 weeks before saying, a screenshot of the Home Office report saying not advising to travel to Rwanda and that kind of thing. And I think I spoke to a few people that have been out there last year, and they're basically like, as long as you're not going right up to the border, like you're fine, sort of thing. So, and a bit of danger isn't a bad thing anyway.
So added to the excitement.
Yeah, exactly. The adventure of it.
You could get shot.
Makes you cycle.
That's pretty exciting.
Cycling away from. So yeah, there's partly the World Championships, and then also never been to Africa before, really wanted to go to Africa, and I thought,
we went right into the deep end.
Yeah,
I mean, most people would just go to Tunisia or something for a beach holiday.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, riding around Rwanda, amazing.
Yeah.
And you talked about fundraising. So can you tell us a little bit about what you were fundraising?
Yeah, so for my organisation, which is called UpCycle London, so it is a cycling-focused organisation in South London. Started off in July 2020 initially as just a fundraising idea back then to get 50 bikes and fix them up and donate them to young people from ethnic minority groups to help them get into cycling and get around London during the pandemic, because public transport was a hot spot. So get them on a bike, get them off public transport and keep them safe. And that kind of developed over the years to doing bike repair workshops. So a lot of the feedback from people we were giving bikes to was that they didn't know how to fix a bike, and they'd do some riding and then get an issue, and then that was it. Their bike was
I think the most common problem is a flat tire.
Yeah,
you know, the
exactly.
tube is
real
punctured,
simple, but
and they don't know how to fix it, and then the bike is just completely useless and not used.
Or it's £20 to go into a bike shop and get it fixed, which people can't, like the people that we work with, it's not an affordable thing to them. So yeah, real simple, inner tube replacement and brake pads. And then once they've got that, that's the two main things that's going to stop them. So to keep them riding, started doing some cycling lessons because a lot of young people weren't confident. So getting them confident on the bike and trying to do, how to approach the junction safely and signalling and what to do in sort of built up areas where we're based with traffic and that sort of thing.
Yeah, I think that's really important for kids to stay safe. I mean, back in my day, I did the cycling proficiency test when I was probably about...
I failed mine, actually. I was one of two people in my year that failed it, I think. So.
Are you instructing the kids?
No, stay well away from it.
I mean, my kids now, probably quite a few years ago now, they did the bikeability courses, levels 1, 2, 3, I think. Yeah. Is that what
so
you do?
We work with, we get some funding from TfL through one of their grants, and we do bikeability with them. And yeah, it's just a really good sort of structure to kind of get people from not knowing how to ride a bike to 4 weeks they're sort of proficient and can ride safely and confident enough to sort of go to school or go to college or make trips to the shop and that sort of thing. So trying to do that.
It's a liberating thing to be able to ride a bike and not to have to rely on public transport or your parents.
Yeah.
But how did you fail your cycling proficiency test?
You forgot to put your arm
back quite. Yeah, I mean, it is something as silly as that, really. Or maybe I think I was just like being cocky or cycling too fast or something. Because I knew it wasn't like I didn't know how to ride a bike.
Doing a wheelie and going.
Yeah. I was above all this.
Breaking the law.
But yeah, I remember everyone was like joking about it, and then literally someone came out, one of the teachers, and like pulled me out with, I think it was 3 other people. And they were like, yeah, you failed your cycle test. And then I wasn't allowed to cycle home. So I had to like walk my bike home.
The natural progression is to open up.
So I'll show you. I'll start my own cycling company.
You said I would be nothing.
Yeah.
Hey, look at me now. But you are based in Brixton. Yeah. So
and we were there at your grand opening just a few weeks ago now.
An amazing venue, right in the middle of an estate where such a venture is needed, to be quite honest. But you're not that far away from some pretty good cycling spitting all over the place. Cycling infrastructure. You've got the Herne Hill Velodrome just down the road.
Yeah. So we, very historic sort of place. A lot of British riders that ended up on the tour, or obviously in track cycling, started off there. Bit of an institution. So after we started doing the cycling lessons, the natural progression with young people was to take them to the velodrome and do like taster sessions with the track cycling. So been doing that for about 4 years now, and they're great. Like, every time we take a group down, they absolutely love it, have loads of fun. It's a real sort of confidence building thing where they see this big track with the sort of
big banking
and it's like, how am I going to manage that? And then by the end of the session, they're sort of going up and overtaking each other. And I think we'll hopefully build on that relationship with them. And the dream is that eventually we can get some young person who has the talent and the ability from the area that we're based in, and we can sort of nurture that and take them down there. And you know, pretty much no one in the area knows about it, and it's literally 10 minutes down the road, and it is such a sort of vital thing to, if you want to get into cycling, track cycling,
right
to be part of it.
It's right in amid the chaos of London, isn't it?
Yeah.
This little sort of mirage of hope for cyclists.
And it's a great community as well, and they've been very welcoming to us and really supported us. So really appreciate them.
So provision of bikes to these young kids, maintenance lessons, safety lessons, how to ride the bike, and confidence. What else do you do for these kids?
The last 2 years we're trying to do more sort of mentoring and a sort of holistic approach. So we use cycling as a tool to engage with them, and then once we get to know them a bit better, we do sort of longer term, sort of 8-week programs where cycling is the main focus, but there's like wellbeing workshops with therapists. We have cooking lessons to teach them about nutrition. We take them to the velodrome. We've had sessions at Decathlon, so we take them along there and this big Surrey Quay store, and they have a tour and talk to different people from different departments. So leaning more towards employability, training, work experience, because I think getting new people into cycling and giving them bikes is important, but we're trying to do more and trying to really give them an opportunity to sort of thrive and transition into adulthood and be successful. So cycling is our way of engaging with them through that.
It sounds like you do a hell of a lot more than just throwing kit at somebody. It's how you use it, how you maintain it, what else you can do with it, which
I think like I said before, we were giving bikes away, and then it moved to the bike repair because we know more, and then eventually you start to learn about the issues that they're facing and the underlying issues and the sort of systemic stuff that is in the area and their background. I mean, we realise that's more needed.
I mean, we know, Brixton's in South London, it's notoriously quite high in crime. Well, has been. Is that still the issue?
Yeah, well, so the area that we're in, Angeltown, we just moved into history of youth violence and, poverty and low income and that kind of thing. And there's been a lot of money put into the area, a lot of work done, and there's loads of amazing grassroots organisations doing really great work. But it's just a sort of, people that are born there aren't sort of given the same opportunities, and we're moving in there with the hope that we can sort of increase their network and provide them with skills and trying to change their perspective as well. Like that's partly what we're doing. We're taking them to the velodromes, taking them out of that bubble and showing them a different sort of area, society, and opening the door to sort of more connections and, like I say, networking. So it's definitely on the up, and I think the fact that we've been given support by Lambeth Council to open this space is a sign that they're sort of backing us and backing the area and trying to change things.
Well, yeah. I mean, I know it's quite early days, but have you had any success stories yet? Have you had anyone that's come in? I know you're probably looking at people that are, not so well off, ethnic minorities who have, like you say, they're caught in this bubble.
Yeah.
Have you had anyone come in yet that's sort of almost off their own accord?
Yeah, I mean, the problem was we were sharing a shared working space before, and people didn't really know we were there. So if someone did find out about us and come down, it was yeah. But we had a few young people come in, and we sort of ended up getting them signed up to programs, and now they're like volunteers. So there was 3 at the hub opening, and they were going around sort of talking to people and just helping out with the day, like tidying up and sort of making sure the drinks were topped up and that sort of thing. So, but yeah, they've been a massive part of it this year, and they've been doing some ride leading and some like monitoring evaluation sort of stuff. So they sort of interview people after and get feedback. But they're all, either at college or uni. So we're just sort of helping them through that. And the hope is that with this hub opening, we'll have, so the way it'll work, we'll have a couple of days a week where we'll have a mechanic sort of fixing bikes, and young people coming off the street, and do a bit of one-to-one bike mechanic stuff, and then that's how we engage them, and then we sort of mentor and nurture them and help them in whatever career path they want to do. So that's the plan.
Yeah, amazing. So you haven't managed to convince anyone to have a go at something as big as the Race Around Rwanda yet?
Not yet. I think, I've definitely want to do something not close to that, but take kids out of the area. So there's a thing called residentials where you take people away for like a week, and it's normally based around an activity. As far as I'm aware, there's not many around cycling. It's normally like sailing, or there's one called Snow Camp, which is a big one where they do snowboarding.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd love to do, taking people to the New Forest or to Wales and doing like a sort of week of bike packing, and then eventually, take them to the Tour de France or to the Vuelta or the Giro or something like that, and see that.
I think that would be phenomenal.
Yeah.
And I know you were talking to James Benson King,
Friend of the show.
previous guest, friend of the show, and on working on how to do a bikepacking weekend with some kids in New Forest. So I think that's great, and we're going to involve ourselves with that as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
it's a
you were also saying that you've like got other initiatives that you said you were going to potentially take some kids out just to look at wildlife and stuff like that.
Yeah, well, Richmond Park is about 8 kilometers, sort of 5 miles away from where we are. So
I mean, I venture that some of the kids haven't even been over there.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It is kind of, for various reasons, people stay in the area, stay in a bubble, and these amazing parks that are right on our doorstep, even Brockwell Park in Herne Hill, that sort of area, and borders Brixton as well.
Why would you say that was? Because of potential rivalry?
Yeah, so there's sort of postcode stuff, so it's kind of, you can't sort of leave your area, because if you go into the wrong area, then you can be vulnerable.
Don't tell me about the postcode stuff. I used to live in Godalming, which is probably one of the most middle class places you can get, and we had the GU7 crew, and they were actually quite they were hellish. They were really horrible people. But it's just a minute, hang on, but you're in Godalming, can you just go somewhere else and do that, please? No, that's not a good thing to say. But yeah, they just sort of beat each other up with baseball bats and stuff like that. So but
it's probably a little bit harsher sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, if you do have it everywhere. Even the village I grew up in, you just have rivalries with your next village for some reason, or the school or whatever. I don't know. It seems to be sort of, it's human nature. But
the other,
but also with the area that we're in, like I say before, I think they just feel like it's not for them. It's like this is their area, this is their lot in life, and these.
So they just don't feel confident enough to.
Yeah, and it is like, it's confidence, and it's I think it's just people, if you take them there a couple of times, then they just become, it's not like the fear of the unknown sort of thing. So
do you think, I mean, have you suggested that the kids, if they rode, it might be, they might not be seen as like potential like a fodder for a gang or something like that?
I think I definitely need to look into it more and see whether that is how they feel. But from outside looking in, it feels like it would be safer if you're just on your bike passing through or on the main roads, instead of like going down streets and through estates and stuff.
People in Lycra, they generally don't look that threatening. Oh no, we'll leave him alone, he's got silly clothes on.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be amazing if you guys got to, Richmond Park and stuff, just because there's a huge amount of wildlife in there. You've got all sorts of
deer.
You got a lot of deer and, bird life in there as well. So, it's an amazing place. Yeah. Right. Okay. Can we just have the contact for your, for UpCycle, please, Phil, just in case anyone wants to pop along or help out with donations, just if you've got any old bikes, if you're in the area, well, old within reason, but I'm sure they can be fixed up.
How do they how do people get in touch with you to donate money? Because I know you're funded by grants.
Yep, big grants and donations is a big part of how we keep things running, especially with the hub opening. There's a lot of running costs there. So if you Google UpCycle London, we'll obviously come up on there, and on our website there's a form to fill out for bike donations. So I don't think I mentioned all the bikes that we donate come to us, we refurbish them and then pass them on. So
the bikes, do they stay within the premises, or do you actually physically give them to are they sort of not rented out, but are they booked out by kids?
No, so we've got a mechanic who does all the refurbishments, and then they're given out as at the end of the workshop. So we do 2 workshops normally, and then they get to keep the bike.
Okay.
But with the hub opening, we probably will have some like higher end sort of road bikes or tour bikes that we'll hire out.
Yeah, sure.
So there's that. If you Google crowdfund at UpCycle London, there's a page there which I had up for the Rwanda fundraising.
Okay. So I forgot to ask, did you make much money?
Yes, 6,500, which we're really happy with.
Yeah.
That was a Viva Community Fund sort of supported. So anyone that donated, the fund was doubled, and then a lot of the Viva employees supported it as well. So yeah, really happy with that. And then Instagram is a good way of sort of seeing what's going on and keeping up to date with events and that sort of thing. So that's UpCycle LDN_.
Okay, wow.
And your website is upcycleldn.co.uk.
That's the one.
And your address in Brixton?
Unit 1 and 2, Fairfax House. This is new, I'm trying to remember it. Overton Road, SW9 7JR.
Yeah, I mean,
next to the Londis.
Next to the Londis. I mean, we know that because we've been there for your grand opening, and that's also how you and I have met. That as the founder of VIA, we did our film screening with you. So we had 30 odd people there to do that, and that was a very nice location, which I think you're encouraging more people to come and do various activities.
Yeah, I mean, and it's only just sort of 10 minutes from the tube
and Loughborough Junction, and
really 10 minutes from a Wetherspoons, just in case you want to wet your whistle at the end of your cycling session.
That's the cheapest Wetherspoons in London, I've heard. So.
Talking about Wetherspoons, I've got a present for you, Steve. First of all, put this on. It's a blindfold.
It's like a rather kinky piece of apparel. What's going on?
Well, you'll find out. Just put it on first.
Go on.
Right. Now, hold out your hand.
Yep.
Here you go. We're going to do a little taste test. Okay. So I've bought a multi-pack of crisps.
Yeah.
And you have to guess the flavour and the brand. Just take one.
Hang on.
Come on, take one.
Yeah.
Okay. Guess the flavour.
Right.
And the brand.
Oh, it's a classic.
What's the rating as well? What's the flavour?
That is a Walker's Square, salt and vinegar. And that's a Stephen the Meal Deal Shrubsall rating of 9 out of 10.
Oh, 9. That's a high one. How are we going to beat that?
Yeah. Okay.
No, leave it on.
Yeah,
leave the blindfold on. That's fine.
What's going on?
We're going to end the episode. We're going to leave the room.
Seriously, is that it?
Yeah.
Got any more?
No, there's no more for you.
Bring them in for the next episode.
Jill says no more crisps.
I really enjoyed this segment. Let's do it again next week. Okay, cool. Woo! Right. Okay. Amazing work, Phil. I really do take my hat off to you.
Take your blindfold off.
I take my blind off to you, sir. Because it is.
I wish we were wearing blindfolds sometimes.
I'm hurt, frankly.
Good.
Yeah. You are so callous. No, but it is a completely selfless thing to do, and I think we could all take cues from somebody like yourself who is, dedicating much of their life to helping other people out. So it's people like you that make the world a better place.
Yeah, I mean, you're inspiring kids. You're helping to equip them in life. I know you trying to do the whole Race Around Rwanda route that was also to inspire kids. What are you going to do next year? What are your plans for 2026?
Nice segue.
To inspire those things.
Don't worry, we're all forced to do this. Yeah, you can't leave this building without entering.
Don't worry, he's already registered.
So on the cards, is the Via race in July.
The race or the adventure?
Yes, the adventure for me, I think. So
See you on the start line, my friend.
Yeah,
we can ride together and just. It starts in Holland, but we could just sort of do a quick.
Just get the ferry over to. No, I mean, so Rwanda was 1,000 kilometers.
And that's a very hilly 1,000 kilometers.
Yeah, a lot of climbing.
And a lot of it was off-road as well.
The first 2 days, mostly off-road. And then, to be honest, their roads are amazing. They're better than over here. So
I mean, my going back to Rwanda briefly before we get back to, the important stuff.
Very important.
What was the off-roading like? Because I followed Lawrence Ten Dam, who I think he won. He did very well. What was the off-roading like?
So the first day was pretty much like really tight sort of dirt. It was like dirt tracks. So my average speed on that was pretty good. It was like, not that different to being on tarmac.
But what bike were you using?
I got Diverge E5.
Right.
With, I think I had 42 mil sort of gravel tires on it. So decent enough for both sort of surfaces. So the first day I was ticking along pretty nicely, and then second day was really like kind of like the bridleways over here, where it's just massive boulders. Like you just go in sort of slow, snail's pace, and I'd be going up sort of trails, and there'd be like 50 school kids coming down the other way, like calling me Mzungu. And
what does that mean?
Mzungu is like foreigner.
Oh,
yeah.
Nice.
Actually means white person originally. Right. So I'm like, what's going on here? But now it's just like.
So, I mean, were you a bit of a sort of over there?
It was honestly bizarre. So I
think because you did it on your own as well, that makes it all the more.
You probably get used to it during a race where everyone's coming through. But I think the people looked at me like I was an alien from outer space, basically, which I probably did look like with all the Leica on and stuff. But I was expecting some attention, but not like I'd go for a village and the whole place would come out, and I'd stop to fill my water bottles, and there'd be about 20 people stood like as far away from you are staring at me.
Right.
And I'd be like, hello, like trying to speak to them, and no one really spoke English. So they had a few they'd say hello and good morning, even though it would be nighttime. So I'd do
I mean, that is effort. 10 out of 10 for effort. Because I couldn't say hello in
exactly. I did. Someone taught me a couple of words the first few days I was out.
I bet they were rude ones, weren't they?
Yeah, maybe. Maybe they did.
They're always the first in a new country. They're always the first.
It was like the greetings, but I tried to do that. But I'd be going through some farmland, and then the next thing I'd be next to a lake, and it was just constantly changing. It was amazing, and that's what I love about sort of bike packing and bike adventure, is how quickly the sort of setting changes.
And I must ask, because I'm a wildlife fanatic, what did you see there in terms of beasties and birds and
any moles?
I saw a mole in broad daylight.
But no gorillas though.
Yeah,
no gorillas that time.
I saw a bear poo when I went to Romania. So
it's not about you. Come on.
I got
like a bear poo.
It's always about
pooing.
Me. No, a bear poo.
Okay.
Yeah, just a fresh one.
You're like
He'd have loved that bear pooing. Him and animal poo
in the woods.
I do like animal scat. Right.
Monkeys.
Yeah, so the last day was the 5th day, but I scratched on the last day. So the last day of riding.
Did you really on the?
Yeah, well, technicals.
Oh, right.
Yeah, mechanical.
Wow.
I was cycling for breakfast, and I was changing gears, and it felt really stiff like the day before, and I just thought back, and I guess it's just being a bit stiff or whatever, a bit dirty, and then I was going up a hill into the sort of town to go and get breakfast, and just went to change and just felt a snap and knew straight away that my cable had gone.
Wow.
And I was stuck in sort of middle gear, so got to the cafe and pulled over, and it was I'm a terrible mechanic on the best of days, and then after
about
really
not efficiency. Yeah.
It's a miracle I got around
Yeah.
it all.
Why are you running this hub? Can't maintain his bike. Can't ride bikes.
Yeah, no.
Terrible.
Sorry, going back to the wildlife.
Sorry, yeah. So yeah, the last day I was going through a national park, and yeah, there was, I think it was like a 25-kilometer climb. It was an absolute beast. It was really gradual, so it was nice. But yeah, I saw a sign with a monkey on it, like warning monkey. And I was like, okay. And then literally came around the corner, and there was like 10 monkeys in the road, and they all just saw me and like ran off.
Oh, did they?
Yeah. But I got really close. And then later on in that, I know the day before, I was in another sort of park, and it just turned into a pine forest in the middle of nowhere. And I went around a corner, and there was a cow in the middle of the road, and I was just like, I've been transported back to like Pennine Rally that I did in Scotland. Sort of thing. So,
a pine forest in the middle of Rwanda sounds a bit odd.
it was really odd. And the smell of it was just sort of took me back home, and got a bit sort of like emotional with it all, and just
Well, it's very easy to get emotional on ultras, isn't it? When you're so tired.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say when he saw this sign of the monkeys, warning monkeys, and then he saw these 10 monkeys, I thought you were going to say they were going to attack you with sticks or something.
steal my my Velo Fort nutrition bars.
Steal your whole bike.
No, there was
Maybe
more
once they stole
scared of
it,
me, and I was scared of them.
There you go. Lots of very energetic energy. Monkeys eating energy juice.
Gels.
So how long did the whole thing take you before we go on to...
So I wanted to do it in 6 days, and I had 180 kilometers left to do on the last day.
Right.
So yeah, I was on track, and yeah, I kind of got to the cafe, was trying to FaceTime my mechanic back at home to see if I could get the cable back in, but it's internal cables. And I was like, do I take it to a mechanic? And they've all got Buffalo bikes from World Bicycle Relief over there, so they're just bulletproof, like real basic sort of mechanics. So I was like, there's no point even trying. So
Could you not have traded it for a Buffalo bike?
finish it on a Buffalo. Could have probably carried it on the Buffalo.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I ended up sort of just telling the cafe owner what had happened. She was really nice. She sort of called around and got a taxi back to Kigali. And yeah, sat in the front with my bike in the back, a bit sort of dejected and feeling like a failure. And then got to Kigali, and after a day or two, sort of thought, no, actually, it was a big achievement to get how far I got.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And it goes back to the fact that you did it unsupported on your own, and not with a bunch of other people next to you, like riding with you.
Yeah.
But so via next year, I mean, I have I'm gonna step into the ultra long distance adventure scene. It'll be the longest ride I've ever done as well. I mean, how are you feeling about it?
Tempted. So I think when I was in Rwanda, it was a challenge, but I still felt like I could be doing more or going longer. Like I did Pennine Rally about 3 years ago. That was 500 kilometers.
What year did you do it?
2022, I think.
I was there as well.
Oh, are you? Maybe 2023.
Yeah.
Or the year
Oh, you
before.
would have seen me.
Did you do the 5 day or the 3 day?
I just did it as quickly as humanly possible.
Well, that's what I loved it, but it was, you start at like 6 in the morning because it gets light really early, and then I'd get to the campsite at like 2, and it's like, right, I'm sat around for like 6 hours now. So I kind of want to, with Via,
Push yourself.
You can go as long as you want. You can go overnight, like you were saying before. So I feel like would be a really big challenge. Also, I've not done one where you're in a big group and you sort of see each other on what I liked about the film screening and the stories was that there was a couple of people
the
who
chapter 2 film. Yeah.
Get a plug in.
Via.
Link in bio.
Ride Via. So one of those, what do you call it?
Hypno.
Yeah.
Hypnotos.
Ride Via every 3 seconds.
Yes. Right there.
I like the sort of storytelling around people going together for sort of periods, and then maybe someone rests and then you see each other further along the road. So I feel like it is the next sort of step in my racing ultra distance sort of journey.
Yeah.
And also I think it's a really sort of opportune time to raise the profile around UpCycle and kind of be a inspiration for the young people that we work with.
I mean, that is inspiration.
Yeah.
When I watch these events, and particularly via last year, I am awed by it. Even though I've been doing these events for quite a long time myself, I've never done anything of that sort of magnitude. But I am awed by people that do ultra riding, especially when you're functioning on so little sleep for such a long time. It's just self-preservation. It's amazing.
Yeah, and that's so.
I think the kids will take great inspiration from that. Yeah. And I think the other thing is that in the ultra cycling world, especially in the UK, there are very few people of colour who are actively doing ultra cycling events. So I think between myself and Talbot James, frame builder, black guy in Bristol, who rode Veer this year, we counted fewer than 10 that we actually knew. And of those, maybe fewer than 5 were actually active. So do you think that would have an impact on people out there?
Yeah, well...
Do more?
Yeah, I think so. I think, funnily enough, it wouldn't put me off. And I think that's because I grew up in a village where I was the minority, and I've just always been, like, the school was like 95% white. And
same, yeah.
It was just part of my daily life. But I can imagine if you're someone who we're working with in Brixton, where you go to school and everyone looks like you growing up around everyone looking like you, and then you see, a race, or you watch a YouTube video of a race and everyone's white pretty much, then it's kind of like seems really different and scary and like alien to you.
Professional cycling, I know we've got Biniam Gourmet, but and we had Kevin Reza, but
they are the exceptions.
It is ridiculous.
Well, they're great exceptions.
Beautiful about the World Championships, because I finished in Kigali on the Friday, and then we had the women's race on the Saturday and the men's on the Sunday, and the field was like pretty much half, like African and Asia, and like it was a proper world sort of event, not like the world tours, where like you say, there's only one African rider. So I think seeing that and seeing the people on the side of the street cheering them on and seeing people who look like them, I think hopefully there will be a legacy from that. And Rwanda, they love their cycling, but it's kind of how do they break into the sort of scene in Europe, and whether it's support from teams or sponsorship or the equipment, all these things probably.
It's incredibly elitist. I mean, even we see, there's no sponsorship for like British cycling in general at the moment. There's hardly any pro teams in the UK at the moment. There's just no money in it.
Yeah.
There are none.
No.
The last one's dead.
Yeah. Which one was that?
Oh yeah, that was in the Cycling Weekly magazine.
Yeah,
wasn't it?
I know. I edited the piece, but I can't remember. I can't remember the name of the team. Not.
Oh, I can't remember either. But anyway, yes. So
Sam Pirot and the other one.
St. Piran was the last one. Yeah.
It wasn't the last one. There was another one after that. Anyway, let's not get me sacked.
Not knowing your own magazine.
Yes.
Very typical of you.
Yeah.
So I think that would be amazing to inspire people of colour to through your representation.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we look forward to having some.
I hope so, because it's the pro. Well, obviously the pro peloton's one thing. That's extremely. There's hardly anyone in it.
Yeah.
But if we can offer ultra riding, is ultra riding's open to everyone?
It should be, yes.
Yeah.
Ultra cycling should be seen, and especially bike packing. You don't need to do the ultra distance events, but bike packing should be seen to be accessible to all.
Yep.
So
adventure is. It's everyone should.
Everyone should experience it.
Everyone should sort of put themselves out of their comfort zone once in a while. And it's.
that's my favorite part of it.
It's
Is
the
the
spice of
kind
life,
of
isn't it?
Yeah, the challenge and more the mental side of it than the physical.
Oh,
Like, so in Rwanda, it got dark at 6, and I'd have about 4 or 5 hours of riding left. So I was cycling in the pitch black, and it was pitch black as well because I was sort of going through, not like villages where the main streets weren't lit up.
When you're worried about, because in Africa it's after dark. That's when you're supposed to basically
Yeah,
put
well,
your head down.
Rwanda's a different sort of place because of the history of everything and the government. I try not to get myself in trouble here, but the government is,
Right, we'll edit it.
is sort of strict, shall we say? So people, there's a certain sort of fear around any of that sort of thing. So, but yeah, the main thing I was having to do at night, I've taken a quite a powerful sort of torch out, and for some reason it would die after like 15 minutes.
Right.
So luckily I took a headset out that I had on my head torch on my helmet. So I was switching between the light and having to charge the light on my power bank. So, and then the torch light was just basically lighting the wheel in front. So that was weirdly enough, my favorite part is being in the pitch black. And I can imagine like cycling through the night when you're a bit sleep deprived and you sort of start having,
I mean, it takes
and that
guts,
kind of-
I think
really tough.
I think the experiences you've had in Rwanda will put you in very good stead for anything you want to take on.
Norway.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It'll be a doddle, I think, in comparison. So well done. And I think we've really enjoyed having you on the show.
We have indeed. Yeah, been a pleasure. Lovely to meet people, of your ilk,
And we're also looking forward to working with you to further UpCycle London.
Yeah.
Really appreciate it.
Yeah. Best of luck for next few months, and we'll catch up with you soon.
See you at
and
the start line.
See how your training's getting on.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah.
See you in July.
All right. Thank you for watching or listening, everyone, and we will see you next week. Bye-bye.
Cheers. Bye.